2 days ago in Colby, it was two huge wins for the Hutchinson Community College baseball team. As the top two teams in the Jayhawk West went to battle for the first time this year. Hutchinson dominated those games 8-4 and 18-6. But as you ever know in baseball, every day is a new day. And what happened on Thursday will have no bearing on the Blue Dragons' efforts today. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back into Hobart-Detter Field in Hutchinson, Kansas. It's time for Hutchinson Community College baseball on the Blue Dragons Sports Network this afternoon. The Blue Dragons, now alone in first place in the Jayhawk West, faced second place Colby in games 3 and 4 of this pivotal Jayhawk West series. Steve Carpenter with you on a very blustery afternoon. The wind blowing in from left center toward the right field foul pole is exactly the opposite of the way it was blowing on Thursday in Colby when the Blue Dragons racked up 26 runs on 30 hits and hit 6 home runs, including 4 in game number 2. So the Blue Dragons now lead the entire division by 2 games. Colby by 2. Butler by 2. And then on from there, Cloud County in 4th place at 14 and 12. We'll get into all of that a little bit later. So the Dragons and the Trojans, the top 2 teams in the Jayhawk in terms of offensive numbers. Hutchinson number 1 in most categories, followed right behind by the Colby Trojans. And Colby's going to come in here wanting to get back what was they thought was theirs on Thursday. The Dragons took it to them. Hutchinson also beat Colby's staff ace, Logan Hoffman. He only lasted 2 1/3 innings before getting pulled, throwing over 80 pitches in over those 2 1/3 innings. And the Dragons just were relentless. They got some huge defensive plays. Dylan Nedved tied a single-game RBI record with 7 in game number 2. He had his second 2-home-run game in a week. And the Black Dragons got the first 2 wins of that series. Now lead the league 18-8 overall record. Again, Colby at 16-10. Also, Butler at 16-10. Lots to tell you about throughout the league. We're down to our final 6 games, our final 2 weekends of the regular season. So every game matters for Hutchinson. And again, what happened on Thursday, especially with the wind almost having a total reversal, it's going to be a different type day. Colby's coming in injured. They want to come out and take it right back to the Blue Dragons and climb right back into it. If Colby wins today, it could be a 3-way battle for the conference race. Butler's into it. At 16-10, they're playing Dodge City today. Cloud County could jump right back into it. Barton could jump right back into it. There's really only 4 teams now completely out of contention for the Jayhawk West title. On the mound in game number 1, it will be Dylan Nedved. He pitched the last game of the last inning of the first game. He'll be opposed by Tyler McWillie. And we'll get you all their particulars after the break. It's the Blue Dragons and the Trojans, game 3 of a pivotal Jayhawk West series, live on the Blue Dragons Sports Network. Welcome back to Hobart-Detter Field, everybody. Steve Carpenter with you. About ready to have the managers meeting for game number 1. Let's get to the starting lineups for this one. First to the visiting Colby Trojans, 30-16 overall, 16-10 in the Jayhawk West. Second place for 21st year head coach Ryan Carter. Leading off and playing center field for the Trojans will be Reese Cornell. Batting second, playing second base, Enoch Perez. Batting third, playing third will be sophomore Matt Kootenai. Cameron Tilley bats fourth. He'll be doing the catching today. Blake Gallagher bats fifth. He's at first base. Tucker Zadunich bats 6th. He'll patrol left field. The designated hitter, Lachlan Ross, bats 7th. Alex Orenchuk bats 8th and plays right field. And Owen Harms will bat 9th and play shortstop. Tyler McWillie gets the start for the Trojans. McWillie, a 2-3 record, 8.36 ERA. He is a freshman, so the Trojans will line up Cornell, Perez, Kootenai, Tilly, Gallagher, Zadunich, Ross, Orenchuk, and Harms, and Tyler McWillie, the starting pitcher. For the Blue Dragons, and 7th-year head coach Ryan Schmidt, 34-16 overall, leading the league with an 18-8 overall record. Logan Sartori will lead it off and play shortstop. Batting second will be the right fielder, Zane Schmidt. Riley Metzger moved up a slot. He'll bat third and play left field. Dylan Nedved will be the starting pitcher and designated hitter. He'll bat cleanup today. Zach Baxley, the latest member of the 100 Hit Club, he bats 5th and plays first base. Will Reitz struggling a little bit. He moves down in the order, down to 6th, and he will play center field. Ryan Moritz bats 7th. He plays second base. The catcher for the 3rd straight game in the series will be Max McGuire. He bats 8th. And Zion Bolin will play third base, batting 9th. So the Blue Dragons will line up Sartori, Schmidt, Metzger, Nedved, Baxley, Reitz, Moritz, McGuire, and Bolin. And Dylan Nedved, 2-2 record with a 3.28 ERA, gets the start. He pitched the 7th inning of Game 1 on Thursday. Faced just 3 batters, got 1 strikeout, and the Blue Dragons captured game number 1. Again, that was an 8-4 win on Thursday. Then the Blue Dragons absolutely unloaded on Colby, scoring in 7 of the 9 innings in an 18-6 victory. Dylan Nedved was 4 of 6 with 2 home runs and a school record tying for a single game, 7 RBIs. The Dragons tied season highs for runs and hits with 18 each, and their 35 total bases was a season high. So the Dragons and Trojans getting set to go at it here. Elsewhere around the Jayhawk, again, very pivotal series. And the way Thursday played out, it couldn't have gone any better for Hutchinson. Cloud County is at Garden City today. On Thursday at Concordia, Garden City won by the scores of 6-0 and 2-1. And then the real big one happened out at Brent Gould Field and Liberal. Pratt was at Seward County. The Beavers on the road taking a pair from the Saints, 6-1 and 10-4. So there were 3 series that started on Thursday. The road team won all 6 games of those series. Home team went 0-6. That changed yesterday when Butler hosted Dodge City in a pair. And the Grizzlies won 11-1 in 5 innings and then won a tight one, 9-8. Barton gets the bye this week. They're with playing Heston. They took the first 2 on Thursday. They get a single game today. So the league standings are Hutchinson leads by 2 games over the field at 18-8. Colby and Butler tied for second at 16-10. Right now, Cloud County 4th at 14-12. Barton 5th at 15-13. Seward County, which is playing their last 2 conference games of the season today. They have the bye next week. They are at 16-14. Garden City 12-14. Pratt 7-19. Dodge 6-20. Right now, Dodge and Pratt locked in a battle to see who survives and makes the playoffs and who ends the season a week too soon. Next week, the matchups are going to be Hutchinson and Cloud. The first 2 games will be here at Hobart-Detter Field. Colby and Pratt, first 2 games of that series will be in Pratt on Thursday. Butler and Garden City will match up, the first 2 in Garden City on Thursday. And then Barton and Dodge meet. And the first 2 games of that set is at Dodge City. Again, Seward County will have the bye. So the Dragons now, they just need to look forward, not in the past. It was 2 big wins. It was the first time And I'd have to go back and look. First time in quite some time that the Blue Dragons took a pair from Colby at Colby. And that set the Blue Dragons up right where they want to be. Now they have to go finish the job. As everything is right in their plate, they have their destiny, as they say, in their own hands. Over on the east side, in case you're wondering, Johnson County and Cali are tied for first place at 21-5. KCK is third at 22-8. Then it kind of falls off. Fort Scott at 14-14 is fourth, and everybody else is under 500. Coffeyville 12-14, Allen at 11-15. Neosho County at 10-16, Labette at 5-21, and Highland at 4-22. So when it gets to Region 6, the top four teams out of each division will get home best of three series. Then the number one team out of the West plays the number team out of the East, and it just serpentines its way back up. So that's how they get the matchups. So right now, if the playoffs were to start today, it would be Hutchinson taking on Labette here at Hobart-Detter Field. But there are 6 huge games to be played before this league race is decided. The Blue Dragons being introduced right now. Gorgeous afternoon. A little too much wind out of the northwest at 15-20 and gusty. Again, that kind of changes the parameters of Hobart-Detter Field. It'll play about 15, 20 feet longer. If you catch one right to right field, it could ride a jet stream out of here. But anything popped up is going to be pushed toward the first base line. And we saw how that affected the game against Seward County. It's time for the national anthem. When we return, the first pitch. It's the Blue Dragons and Trojans from Hobart-Detter Field. This is Blue Dragon Baseball. And welcome back to Hobart-Detter Field. The Dragons are taking the field for game number 3 of this Jayhawk West set against the Colby Trojans, the top 2 teams in the Jayhawk West. And for those Colby Trojan fans listening in, welcome. And we'll give a quick shout out to my good friend Rich Epp, Open Spaces Sporty, handled the broadcast on Thursday. We appreciate that. Rich wasn't able to make it in today, so we'll take it for him here and settle in for a nice afternoon of Jayhawk Conference baseball, Western Division style, here on the network. Dragons send out Dylan Nedved, the 6'2", 195-pound sophomore from Shawnee, Kansas. Nedved, a 2-2 overall record with a 3.28 earned run average. He's making his 7th start, 13th appearance overall, 1 save mixed in there, 35 2/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 37 hits, 26 runs, 13 have been earned. Nedved has struck out 51 and walked only 6. Opponents hitting .261 against. Dylan had a rough outing 1 week ago with the wind blowing out at Seward County. He went 4 2/3 innings, allowed 8 hits, 9 runs. Also gave up a home run. but balls were flying out of Brent Gould Field left and right last week. Now the wind blowing in here. So here we go. Here's the pitch. A little looper by Reese Cornell, but it's going to hang up for Riley Metzger, and there's out number one. So the first pitch coming right at 1 o'clock. There's a line out to Riley Metzger in right field. Now second baseman Enoch Perez. Perez in the first inning on Thursday of game number one hit a 2-run home run. That gave Colby their only lead of the afternoon, and it was short-lived. There's a swing and a foul ball. As the Blue Dragons came back with 3 runs against Nolan Hoffman to take a 4-2 lead, and the Dragons never trailed the rest of the day or the game or the day. Dragons won the first 2. Edved's 0-1. Pulled foul outside of third. 0-2. Enoch Perez hitting .367 for the year, 10 home runs. He's driven in 40. Third on the team. 3 different Colby players have 40 or more RBIs. Perez was 3 for 6 on Thursday. The pitch. Called strike 3, outside corner. Nicely placed fastball. Very quickly, 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Now third baseman, sophomore Matt Kootenai. Kootenai hitting .395. He also has 10 home runs. That ties Perez for the team lead in home runs. 44 RBIs. Second on the team. Kootenai had a home run and going 3 for 7 in the first 2 games of the series on Thursday. Lefty-righty matchup. Nedved's delivery. The fastball low and outside, ball 1. Defensively for the Dragons, Riley Metzger in left field, Will Reitz in center, Zane Schmidt getting his first start in the field in the series in right. Zion Bowen at third, Sartori at short, Moritz at second, Baxley at first. The 1-0 pitch. High chopper left side, knocked down by Moritz. He gets up, spins, throws, got him, and the inning is over. Ryan Moritz flashing a little bit of leather, and it's a very quick 1-2-3 inning for the Trojans in the top of the first. After a half inning, it's Colby 0 and the Blue Dragons coming up. Righty Tyler McWillie taking his warm-up tosses. He's a 6'2", 210-pound freshman from Waltrue, Saskatchewan, Canada. A lot of Canadians on the Colby roster for 21st-year head coach Ryan Carter. The numbers on McWillie, 2-3 overall record with an 8.36 ERA. Making his 7th start, 13th overall appearance. McWillie has worked 28 innings. He's allowed 40 hits, 40 runs, 26 of those earned. He has struck out 32, but walked 23, and he has given up 4 home runs. Pardon me. He'll be facing a Blue Dragon team that hit .405 on Thursday, had 30 hits and 74 at-bats, 13 for extra bases, .312 overall average. And Logan Sartori steps in, and his numbers just keep going through the roof in terms of his spots on several Blue Dragon career charts. Currently 14th on the all-time hit list with 132. He's third in runs scored with 133. We'll get to more of those throughout the afternoon. The first pitch from McWillie is a fastball hit the left field pretty well. Zadunich going back, and it's over his head. And we'll roll to the track. At least 2 for Sartori. He's going to try for 3. Going to be a play at third. The throw is high, and in safely with the leadoff triple is Logan Sartori, his 9th career triple. And that now ties him with Jordan Robeson for second place in the all-time triples list. So the outfield playing shallow with the wind blowing in, and Sartori burns Zadunich. And now it's an RBI opportunity for Zane Schmidt, the league leader in home runs with 19, hitting .398 now for the year. Foul back. Zane first in home runs with 19, first in RBIs with 58, second in the nation with those 19 home runs. 3.98 average is 8th in the league. 72 runs is third. 61 runs is third. 72 hits is third. Those are all conference numbers. The pitch, high and outside, 1-1. Zane's hit safely in 9 of his last 10, hitting .444 over that stretch, 20 for 45. Infield back for the Trojans. Here's the 1-1. Fastball outside, 2 balls and 1 strike to the freshman from Kearney, Nebraska. On Thursday, Zane was 6 for 9 with a double, drove in 4 and scored 3. He had a critical bleeder single that scored 2 in the first game. High pop in the infield. It's the shortstop Zadunich now running in, still running, and he drops the ball. Or actually, did he touch it? It's going to be a hit then. He didn't touch it, so that'll be an infield single. And we talked about the win in the pregame. Sartori stayed put. So now Riley Metzger. So a triple and a bloop infield single. Have him on the corners for the Dragons, and here's Riley Metzger. Sophomore hitting .384, 6 home runs, 43 driven in. The pitch. Outside ball 1. Riley currently on a 6-game hitting streak where he's hitting .520, 13 for 25. He's driven in 7. Prime RBI opportunity here to get things going for Hutchinson. The pitch. Ball 2, high and outside. Riley on Thursday was 3 for 7 with a home run. He drove in 3. Schmidt away from first. Here's the pitch. Big cut and a miss by Riles. And it's 2-1. Riley on Tuesday had a web gem type of play, a headlong dive against Barton. And since we posted that video, it's gotten over the 3 mediums we have it on. It's received over 8,000 views. The 2-1. The hands foul back to the net. Now it's 2-2 to Metzger. Metzger, since returning from his injury on April 9th, hitting at a .408 clip, 20 for 49. 12 RBIs and 2 home runs mixed in there. He got off to a little slow start in terms of driving runs, but he's picked up his pace again. That pitch low, breaking on the pitch, and Schmidt's going to be out. He broke, hesitated, and broke again, and then Cameron Tilley threw him out. So it's not a caught stealing, but a 2-6 put out trying to advance. So now 1 out in the inning with a runner at third and a 3-2 count on Metzger. Sartori away from third. Now the infield in at all 4 positions for the Trojans. The pitch, high shot right to the second baseman, Perez. He'll just run it to the bag himself while looking Sartori back the entire way. Now a runner at third with 2 out. As well as the Blue Dragons hit on Thursday, they still left a virtual small village on base. It could have been worse. Trojans have a chance to gain some momentum here in Game 3 by getting out of a huge jam, but they have to face the hot-hitting Dylan Nedved. Breaking pitcher McWillie is low, ball 1. Nedved on Thursday was 7 for 10, double, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. The pitch. Ball hit well to right center field, but the right fielder Renchek is over, he makes it, and it's a big escape for the Trojans in the first. Dragons get runners at the quarters, nobody out, can't score, and after 1, Dragons nothing, Trojans nothing. Cameron Tilley to lead off the top of the second. No score here at Hobart-Detter Field. The first of 2 this afternoon. The righty into the wind, the pitch. Off speed. Not sure where it missed. Maybe inside, maybe a little bit low for ball 1. Dylan Nedved, fastball, slider, changeup. Will throw a curve every once in a while. That fastball paints the outside corner for a strike, and it's 1-1. Cameron Tilley left the second game early on Thursday. Tilley hitting .366, 9 home runs, and a team-high 46 RBIs. He lifts this one to left field. Riley Metzger fighting the wind, makes the catch. And there's 1 away. Now the first baseman, Blake Gallagher. Gallagher, a .320 hitter on the year with 39 hits, 7 home runs, 31 RBIs. Top 2 home run hitting teams in the Jayhawk. Hutchinson with 71, Colby with 61. There's that curveball, but it misses a little bit low for ball 1. They play the Colby hitter the other way. Fastball, strike called. Center fielder Will Reach shipped away around toward right center. Riley Metzger in left, playing straight away but shallow. The pitch. Fastball swung through and missed, and it's 1-2 on Gallagher. Gallagher, 3 for 8, doubled and homer, drove in 2 in the first 2 games of the series on Thursday. The pitch. Strike him out. Max McGuire tags him out, and there's 2 away here in the second. Second strikeout for Dylan Nedved. Base is empty, 2 away for the left fielder, Tucker Zadunich. Zadunich hitting .296 for the year, 8 doubles, 5 home runs, 26 RBIs, 37 total hits, lefty-righty matchup. And the pitch is taken low and outside for ball 1. Two weeks ago against Pratt on April 14th. Outside now, 2-0 to Zadunich. Dylan Nedved had a spectacular start with a career-high 10 strikeouts, a complete game, and a 6-3 win. through 108 pitches. High fly ball, shallow left center. Metzger coming on. He'll chase it down actually into center field. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Dylan Nedved in the top of the second. We head to the bottom of the second inning here at Hobart-Detter. Dragons nothing, Trojans nothing. Dragons had a golden scoring opportunity in the bottom of the first and failed to come up with anything. Now Zach Baxley, Will Reitz, and Ryan Moritz will face Tucker McWillie here in the second with scoreless game. With his second hit against Barton on Tuesday, Zach Baxley became the 32nd member of the Blue Dragon Career 100 Hit Club. Failed to mention that earlier in the week. He is the third Dragon on this team to reach 100 hits this year, joining Dylan Nedved and Logan Sartori. Zach now with 101 career hits, and he takes a pitch high and tight for ball one. Bax now hitting .311 for the year, 4 home runs and 30 driven in. Pitch over but low, 2-0. Bax was 1 for 8 in the first 2 games of the series. He doubled, drove in 2, also scored a run. After working the plate primarily last week, he's back at first base. As Ryan Schmitz moved Max McGuire back in behind the dish. 2-0 pitch, swung at a high fastball, 2-1. The Dragons do love chasing those fastballs up. The pitch. Good fastball from McWillie at the outside corner at Denise, 2-2. Last Saturday against Seward County, Zach Baxley set a defensive single-game record with 18 putouts. He was catching when the Dragon staff set a single-game record with 19 strikeouts. 2-2 pitch. Fouled out of play to the right. On a strikeout, the catcher gets the putout on that unless he has to throw down the first. He had to do so once. Thus, the 18 putouts on the 19 strikeouts. But that 18 putouts was a single-game record. Dragons won that game 17-11 in 10 innings. 2-2 pitch. Bax wouldn't chase the high fastball there and works the count full. Before this series, Bax was on a tear. 7 out of 12 over his last 3 before Thursday's 1 for 8. Here's the payoff. Hit to right field, going back is Orenchuk, fighting the wind. Now toward the line, he makes the catch. 1 away here in the Dragons' second. Told you that everything up in the air is going to get pushed toward the first base line with that wind howling in from left center. Now Will Reitz, the nation's leader in hit by pitches with 25. He was 1 for 8 on Thursday. And seen his average dip to 287, 10 home runs, and 29 driven in. He hits with bases empty and 1 away here in the second. It was a scoreless game. Will takes high ball 1. Those 25 hit by pitches. He's been hit in 20 different games. 5 different times he's been hit twice in a game. Ball too low. He is tied for, or he's not currently second on the single season list. He just passed Brandon Doherty. It's a high fly ball to center. Cornell going back, now stopping and moving to his left. He's got it 2 away. Sure like to see the Dragons start hitting him more on the line instead of up in the air. We saw this last Thursday, or a week ago Thursday, against Seward County with the wind blowing in. The Dragons just had too many pop-outs. They end up losing the first game in 9 innings. Came back to win the second game. Bases empty, 2 away for sophomore second baseman Ryan Moritz. He goes first pitch hacking and misses strike 1. Mo now hitting, .319, 2 home runs, 21 RBIs. He was 3 for 8 with a home run and 2 RBIs on Thursday. Pulls that one right to first base coach Toby Corneo. He fields it on the clean hop and throws a 2-hopper to the dugout. So obviously the arm not what it used to be for Toby. 0-2 the count to Moritz. He's one of the Dragons' hotter hitters right now. The pitch, strike him out. And the Dragons are done in the second. Dragons go 3 up and 3 down. We head to the third. Dragons nothing, Trojans nothing. We'll try to keep you up to date on all the doings around the Jayhawk West. Obviously, so many important games that directly lead to what's happening with the Blue Dragons and the Jayhawk West championship race. No score here through 2. And Lachlan Ross will lead it off for the Trojans, the designated hitter. Ross hitting .273, a couple of home runs and 12 driven in. Dylan Nedved starts off with strike outside corner. Good fastball. 16 pitches to complete 2 innings for Dylan. That breaking pitch misses low and outside, 1-1. Ross played in both games, started 1 on Thursday, went 1 for 4, scored a run. Ground ball to short, charging is Sartori. He scoops, throws, got him 1 away. Now the right fielder, Alex Arenchuk. Arenchuk is a hockey name if I ever heard it, being a hockey connoisseur that I am. And sure enough, Alex Arenchuk out of a very good hockey town in London, Ontario, Canada. I imagine he's been on the skates a few times. Lefty-righty matchup, the pitch. Strike 1 from Nedved, a fastball in her half. Arenchuk hitting .210, 2 home runs, 17 RBIs. Reaches out and slaps a 2-hopper to second. Big hop for Moritz, and there's 2 away. Now the shortstop, Owen Harms. Harms 0 for 8 in the series thus far with 3 strikeouts. He's hitting .206. 20 total hits, but he has 2 home runs and 10 RBIs. And it's ball 1 to the 9-hole hitter for the Trojans. Fastball swung through and missed, 1-1. The pitch. That changeup misses outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Dillon so far on his game, hardly been behind a batter. He'll deliver 2-1 here to Harms. Ground ball right side. Moritz to his right. Fields throws, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Trojans in the third. 3 ground ball outs for Nedved. We go to the bottom of the third. Dragons nothing, Trojans nothing. Folks, there's still time to get your team in for the 2019 Blue Dragon Golf Tournament, which is just 6 days away over at Cary Park, just over the outfield, right field wall here at Hobart-Detter Field. 4-team scramble, get your team in now. Also be a hole sponsor for $125. If you want to enter or be a hole sponsor, call 620-665-3530 and get signed up today. The Blue Dragon Golf Tournament, Friday, May 3rd at Cary Park Golf Course. We head to the bottom of the third, no score. And it will be 8-9-1 for the Dragons here in the bottom of the third against Tyler McWillie. He's allowed just 2 hits, but no runs. Max McGuire hitting .250, 4 home runs, 21 driven in for the season. Big wave and a miss. Max went 3 for 9 on Thursday, and that snapped a 1 for 13 for him. McWillie's pitch. Fastball, well placed, strike 2 at the knees, 0-2. His Game 2 home run, McGuire, was his first since March 19th against Cowley. Max also threw out a couple of would-be base stealers on Tuesday. Pitch inside, nearly hit him. That's ball and 2 strikes to the Dragon catcher. One of the many Nebraskans on this team. Max out of Lincoln by way of Missouri State University. McWillie working out of the stretch, misses inside, 2-2. On Thursday in the 8-4 win, the Dragons sent Colby Ace, Logan Hoffman. That pitch fouled out of play to the right. To his shortest stint as a starter this year, just 2 1/3 innings. Logan Hoffman allowed 6 hits, 6 runs. He struck out 4 but walked 3. Just never get control his breaking pitch. And that's what sets up his lightning fastball. 2-2. Slice foul out of play again by McGuire, and remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Dragons scored 1 in the first off Hoffman, and then scored 3 more in the second. And Zion Boland's home run in the third chased him. The pitch, breaking pitch, upstairs, full count. Jake Buns was the winner. He improved to 8-1, gutting out 5 tough innings. Buns allowed 9 hits and 4 runs. He struck out 7 and walked 2. But there was one pivotal inning that may have set up the entire afternoon for the Blue Dragons. Here's a 3-2 to McGuire. Grounded right to short. Harms, Fields, throws, got him one away. Now third baseman Zion Boland. Zion has homered in 2 of his last 4 games. His average is back up to 263 with 4 home runs and 24 RBIs. Bolin was 3 for 7 with a double and a home run in games 1 and 2. He takes that pitch from McWillie outside, ball 1. Going back to Thursday, the Blue Dragons had an 8-4 lead. Jake Bunn started the 6th with that 8-4 lead. He pitched to Bolin's up high, 2-0. He gives up a double and then hits a batter. That's the end of his day. Ryan Summers comes in and summarily on 4 pitches walks the bases loaded. So the tying run comes to the plate. 1-0 pitch. Foul back to the netting, and it's 2-1. Bases loaded, nobody out. Ryan Summers then gets a pair of infield flies and then a fly out to Bolin in right field to get out of the jam. And that really kind of took the wind out of the Colby sails for the entire afternoon as the Dragons took the first 2. The pitch. That's up the middle. Harms will get to it behind the bag. Throws. Got him. Good play. Owen had to range far to his left and fielded it behind the bag. He makes the play. So first time around against Tyler McWillie, the Blue Dragons get a couple of hits. McWillie has now retired 7 in a row. Now Logan Sartori steps in. He tripled over the head of left fielder Tucker Zadunich. When he was stranded at first base, the Dragons couldn't get him, at third base, the Dragons couldn't get him in. Pitch is low and outside, ball 1. That triple, Sartori's 9th career triple, now ties him with Jordan Robeson for 2nd. Just 1 triple behind the record holder of Quentin Crandall, who had 10 in his Blue Dragon career. Pitch over the head of Sartori, barely dropped the bat in time, so it wasn't a foul ball. But now Sartori up in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. That hit his 133rd. Logan's next hit will tie him with Matt Rebout for 13th with 134. 2-0 pitch in the dirt, 3-0. Zane Schmidt would be next. He had a bloop single. That was definitely wind-aided. And with the high sky, that didn't help Owen Harms either. The pitch. Strike in her half, 3-1. Sartori is 3rd on the career runs list with 133. Only Michael Hellman with 167 and Shane Cooper with 147 have more. Strike called. McWillie comes back from a 3-0 deficit to fill the count at 3-2. Logan's 10th in RBIs with 107. His next double will tie the career record with 3 others. Pitch foul back out of play. Thad Weber, Michael Hellman, and Bobby Morganson all have 37 doubles for their career. That's the Dragon record at the moment. Logan sitting on 36. Another double by Dylan Nedvin. He joins the top 10 in that category as 29. Here's the pitch. Strike him out. So 2 strikeouts for McWillie. He's now retired 8 in a row. We head to the 4th. Dragons nothing, Trojans nothing. Couple of scores to report from around the Jayhawk West. The Pratt Beavers continue to torment Seward County. They're through 2 in in Pratt, and Pratt leads Seward 3-1 after the Beavers took 2 from the Saints at Brent Gould Field and Liberal on Thursday. Garden City is hosting Cloud County, and the Thunderbirds have a 4-0 lead with a 4-run top of the first. So here's Reese Cornell, lead off the fourth. He lined out to Riley Metzger and left his first time up. There's a line shot to right field, and Colby has its first hit of the game. Really the first time Dillon didn't locate a pitch. That pitch is up over the plate, and Cornell jumps on it for a leadoff single. Now Enoch Perez. It's a very sophomore-heavy top of the order for Ryan Carter. Ryan likes to play the small ball game as well. We'll see what he does with Enoch Perez, a strikeout victim his first time. So Cornell's single ends a streak of 9 in a row retired. Chop to third. Bolin has it, goes to second for 1 to throw it at first, not in time. But Bolin on the high chopper gets the lead runner, Cornell, at first. So 1 away with a runner at first for Matt Kootenai, the third baseman. Kootenai grounded to Ryan Moritz his first time. Ryan had to make a nice stop going down to his knees to field it. Got up, spun, and throw a strike to first to get Kootenai. First pitch swing is a high pop, shallow left toward the line. Metzger. Now Sartori makes the catch. They may have a chance at a double play. The throw is high, but Baxley wisely backs off the bag to make sure he catches the ball. Now 2 away. So 2 pitches, 2 outs after the single. And Dylan Nedved's only thrown 3 pitches in this inning. A single and 2 outs. Now Cameron Tilley, the catcher. Tilley flew out to left fielder Riley Metzger his first time. Nedved working out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1. The next pitch will just be number 30 for Dillon. We're 2 outs into the 4th inning, so pitch efficiency. It's a swing and a fly ball. It's going to get well out of play to the right into the parking lot. There's probably some cars that might be in danger of that one. Good. This must be a decent-sized crowd down there. Usually, I can tell just by the line of cars in the parking lot, and they've reached almost out to the big tree as you turn into Hobart-Detter, so that's a good sign. You don't get to see the size of the crowd from up here as we sit over the top of everybody. Fastball from Nedved, just misses inside. Dragons wanted the call, didn't get it. Now Tilley's up in the count, 2-1 on Nedved. Cornell got the first hit of the game. Move over to first. Actually knocked it down, couldn't hold on to apply the tag. Cornell singled. That was Colby's first hit of the game. Then Perez hit into a 5-4 fielder's choice. Kootenai flew out to shallow left, the pitch. That's a good fastball from Nedved. A strike called, 2-2. Dragons with a 2-game lead in the league after the 2 wins on Thursday. The pitch. Struck him out. Nasty pitch on the inner half. And Nedved is done in the 4th. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Halfway through in game number 1 this afternoon from Hobart-Detter Field. Dragons nothing, Trojans nothing. Colby's Tyler McWillie pitching anything like a guy with an 8+ ERA. He has retired 8 Blue Dragons in a row and kept Hutch off the board. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Hobart-Detter Field. It will be 2, 3, and 4 here in the Dragon 4th. Schmidt, Metzger, and Nedved. Zane Schmidt had a wind-aided infield single that Owen Harms just couldn't corral. So here we go. First pitcher McWillie is pulled foul. That's in behind the tarp. Good luck to the fellas getting that one. Last week against Seward with the wind blowing in like this, I said it was somebody's going to have to put a charge into it to get it out. And sure enough, I get it out. Zane Schmidt caught a perfect pitch. Rode it out of here to right field. He looks to push a bunt back with the third baseman, Kootenai, backing off the line and fouls it off. Now he's down in the count, 0-2 to McWillie. The infield definitely shifted to play Zane Schmidt to pull. Outfield also shifted toward right. The 0-2. Got him swinging. That is now 3 strikeouts for McWillie. Mace is empty, 1 away for Riley Metzger. Metzger grounded out to the second baseman, Enoch Perez, his first time. It was the base running mistake of Zane Schmidt that really turned that first inning around for Hutch. They had the runners at the corners after Sartori's triple and his bloop single. Pitch outside, ball 1. Zane tried to move up on a pitch that got away from the catcher, Cameron Tilley, but he hesitated and then was thrown out rather easily by Tilley. Metzger grounded out with the infield in. That pitch fouled back out of the way, or out of play, and it's 1-1. And then Nedved was the final out of the first inning, and the Dragons missed on a golden opportunity. They've not had a base runner since. 1-1. Breaking pitch, nicely delivered strike on the inner half. 1-2 to Metzger. I was talking with Jamel Cervantes up here in the press box while setting up. First the 1-2 pitch. And on the hands, a big one-hopper to the first baseman, Gallagher. He'll take it to the bag himself, 2 away. I was talking with assistant coach Jamel Cervantes up here. We were talking about how the Dragons handled Logan Hoffman. Nolan Hoffman's the former Blue Dragon, now in the Mariners organization. Don't be surprised if we see Logan Hoffman pitch sometime today in a tight game, especially if Colby is tied or leading. He did throw 86 pitches. Pitch inside to Nedved, who flew out to right his first time. Last year, Hoffman did exactly that. Pitch outside, 2-0 to Nedved. Got the Game 1 win last year, and then pitched the Game 4 save. He beat the Dragons here, and then got the save out at Colby. That's series split 2-2. Ball 3 to Nedved. Low and away. Hoffman just a competitor, and that's what you like to see out of your players. Here's the cripple to Nedved, taking all the way, strike right down the chute, 3-1 for the Blue Dragon pitcher and designated hitter. If he's ever listed as a pitcher, he can stay in as the designated hitter, but you have to list it on the lineup card as such. Nedved slices that one foul. And McWillie has fought back to fill the count. Nedved, 11 for his last 22. Includes 4 home runs and 12 RBIs. Called strike 3, and that's the inning. 2 strikeouts in the inning for McWillie. We played 4 here at Hobart-Detter. Dragons nothing, Trojans nothing. On to the top of the 5th here at Hobart-Detter Field. We are still scoreless. Nice pitching duel between Hutchinson's Dylan Nedved and Colby's Tyler McWillie. And it will be 5, 6, and 7 here in the Colby 5th. Gallagher, Zadunich, and Ross. Dylan Nedved has needed just 33 pitches to cruise through the first 4 innings against the Trojans. Gallagher struck out swinging his first time. Breaking pitch pulled foul for strike 1. Nedved's allowed just 1 hit, a leadoff single in the 4th. He has struck out 3. Now the windup, the 0-1. That one's looped into center field. That's going to get down for a hit. And for the second straight inning, the Trojans have a leadoff man aboard. Now Tucker Zadunich, the left fielder, he flew out to left his first time up. Blue Dragon pitchers lead the Jayhawk Conference in total strikeouts with 503. That's already a school record. Every strikeout ups that record. There's a bunt. One hopper right to Baxley. Thought about going to second, but took the sure out at first. So the sacrifice by Zadunich worked. Gallagher at second now with 1 away. Wasn't that great of bunt, but Gallagher got a very good jump. So for the first time today, Colby has a runner in scoring position, and it will be the designated hitter, Lachlan Ross. Ross grounded out to short his first time up. Nedved out of the stretch. Breaking pitch, a beauty. Strike 1. Blue Dragon pitchers have struck out 10 or more batters in a game 28 times this season in the first 50 games. The pitch. Ground ball to Baxley at first. He'll take it to the bag himself, but moving up to third was Gallagher with 2 away. Ryan Carter has always played the small game very well. And now he's trying to produce a run here. This one's scheduled for 7. We play in the top of the 5th. Runner at third, 2 away for Alex Arenchuk, the right fielder. He grounded out to second baseman Ryan Moore. It's his first time and swings and misses at a changeup. Way out in front of that one, 0-1 the count. This pitch will be number 40 for Dylan. The pitch. A little bit low, 1-1. With a runner at third working out of the windup, Nedved's pitch outside, 2-1. If Arenchuk can extend the inning, it will be the shortstop, Owen Harms. Runner at third, 2 away here at top of the 5th, no score. Waved at that changeup and missed 2-2. So Dillon a strike away from getting out of the jam. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball right to Moritz. He plays it on a big hop, takes his time, throws, and that's the inning. Nice job by Dylan Nedved working around the leadoff single. No runs, a hit, one left. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Dragons nothing, Trojans nothing. Be sure you stay with us after the first game today, as we'll be honoring the 2019 Blue Dragon sophomores. This was supposed to be sophomore day anyway, but when that Cloud Series earlier in the year got pushed back around because of weather, Dragons will have another home doubleheader, but this was always supposed to be scheduled as Sophomore Recognition Day, and we will have that for you live here on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. That coming up just a few minutes after game number 1. Zach Baxley lead off the bottom of the fifth. It's a solid pitchers duel, each team with 2 hits. Tyler McWillie has now retired 11 consecutive Blue Dragons. Baxley flew out to right his first time. The pitch. A bunt popped up. Nobody will be able to get to it. McWillie never had a chance, and Cameron Tilley, the catcher, couldn't find it in time. It's 0-1 to the Dragon first baseman. Back's now 1 for 9 in the series, so you figure he's due. 0-1. Ground ball left side, big hop for the shortstop Harms. Throws a strike to first, and there's 1 away. Now 12 in a row retired by McWillie. Remember, he's got an 8+ ERA. Tells me that he may have been lit up once or twice, but other than that, he's been a pretty solid pitcher. ERAs sometimes are a very inaccurate parameter of how good a pitcher is during his season. Now Will Reitz flew out to left or center his first time up. Line shot caught by the diving third baseman Matt Kootenai, and just like that, 2 away. Will put a charge into it. Good play by Kootenai. Bases empty, 2 away for second baseman Ryan Moritz. We were talking about Mo. After the first game against Butler, way back on March 9th, Mo's average dipped to 167. The pitch, low and in, ball 1. He has now raised that average 152 points to its current 319 entering the play day. He's been hitting at a 388 clip, 38 for 98. He went through one small stretch in there. He was 2 for 17 from April 3rd through the 18th. Was 11 for his last 23 since. He takes a strike on the outside corner and count even at 1-1. Currently on a 6-game hitting streak. The 1-1. Upstairs, 2-1. If Moritz can reach, it'll be Max McGuire. Moritz pulls one foul outside of first, and the count now 2-2. Score update from Stanion, Field, and Pratt. Now to the bottom of the third. Seward's come back to tie Pratt 4-4. Cloud County leads Garden City, top of the third. Williams Stadium in Garden City. 2-2 to Moritz. Pulled along to first. Gallagher has it. He'll take it to the bag. And that is a fourth consecutive 1-2-3 inning for the Dragons. McWillie has retired 14 in a row. We head to the sixth. Dragons nothing. Trojans nothing. You're listening to Blue Dragon Baseball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. Steve Carpenter with you. And again, thanks and welcome to all the Trojan fans watching in this afternoon. No score through 5. This one's scheduled for 7. Dylan Nedved has 3 strikeouts and allowed just 2 hits over his first 5 innings and thrown just 43 pitches. He gets 9-1-2 here in the 6th, and it's a swing and miss by the shortstop Owen Harms. 0 for 1. He grounded out to second base his first time. Strike inside corner at the knees. 0-2. Dragons have had one threat. That came in the first. Hutch had runners of the corners, nobody out, couldn't score. Colby mounted their first true offensive threat last inning. A pitch outside, 1-2. Gallagher singled, was sacrificed up to second, moved over to third on a ground ball out, but was stranded there. 1-2 pitch. Mass ball up and in, 2-2. Wind still howling in from left center. 2-2 pitch. High fly to right. Playable. Schmidt now coming against the wind. He dives and he doesn't get it. And that's going to turn into a hustle double as the wind really messed with Schmidt out in right field. He had to dive forward, couldn't make the catch. So an easy out, which it should have been, turns into a double. And Zane playing right field for the first time in the series. He hasn't played outfield for a while. He's been primarily a first baseman, DH, has caught some. So now Cornell, he bunts one foul. Third time around the order now for the Trojans against Nedved. Dylan's got to bear down. Last time Zane was in the outfield was April 9th against Seminole. And with the wind the way it is, anything's an adventure. Arms leads away from second. Nedved out of the stretch comes set, squaring to bunt. His bunt is popped foul off to third base side, 0-2. Colby, shockingly, only has 7 sacrifices. That sacrifice coming early, that seventh sacrifice coming earlier in the game. Normally, when you see the Trojans and the Blue Dragons get together, they're almost mirror images of each other. Playing a lot of small ball. That's how much the game has changed. The grip it and rip it mentality has definitely reached junior college baseball. 1-2 pitch from Nedved. High pop out of play to the left. Lamented a lot about how many strikeouts the Dragons have had this year. Colby struck out 330 times themselves. Here's the 0-2. Just missed wide of the plate, a fastball. Good 0-2 pitch. Now it's a ball and 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter, Reese Cornell. Cornell now 3 for 11 in the series. 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Pitches in front. McGuire will tag him out. That's a big strikeout for Nedved. Out number 1 here in the 6th. Now, tough customer in Enoch Perez. Perez has struck out and reached on a fielder's choice. He's a threat to bunt for a hit. Good speed at second. Now runner at second, 1 away. Nedved comes set out of the stretch. The pitch. And once lifted to left, back goes Mexter, still going, and he can't get to it. The runner will not advance to third. The throw comes all the way through. That'll be a double for Perez, but Harms can only go to third. Almost looked like Riley had a chance to get it, but then the wind caught it again and pushed it away from him. So now the Dragons in some serious trouble here in the 6th. Couple of wind-aided hits have the Trojans in prime scoring position, and Ryan Schmidt's going to come out of the dugout and bring the infield together and get everybody settled down. So second and third, 1 out for Matt Kootenai. Interesting discussion here. First base open. Do you intentionally want Kootenai to load the bases and reapply a double play opportunity and then pitch to Tilley? Or you just go after Kootenai? The many strategies of baseball. So the Trojans in prime opportunity here to take a lead here in the top of the 6th. Blue Dragons not getting any help at Dodge City. Butler with a 6-1 lead in the top of the 6th. So now Kootenai, they're going to go after him. Lefty-righty matchup here with the infield in for the Dragons. Second and third, 1 away, top of the 6th, no score. The pitch. Breaking pitch misses wide, ball 1. Nedved pitched out of a jam in the 5th. Now a big-time trouble here in the 6th. The pitch. That one's up the middle for a base hit, and that's going to score 2 for the Trojans. Matt Kootenai delivers, and Colby leads at 2-0 as Harms and Perez both score. Kootenai with RBIs 45 and 46. And that didn't matter with the infield in. That was a line drive to center field. So 2 runs in the inning. Still just 1 out. Now the catcher, Cameron Tilley. Tilley 0 for 2, struck out his last time. Nedved's pitch, a breaking pitch in the dirt, blocked by McGuire. So with everything going the Dragons' way on Thursday, right now nothing going the Dragons' way 2 days later. And that's why you said you can't put any stock in what happened on Thursday. The pitch. Ground ball right side. That's going to skitter in for a hit. Stopping at second is Kootenai. Now 2 doubles and 2 singles here in the 6th, and Colby has a chance to break it open. The top of that Trojan order, very sophomore laden. Here's another sophomore in Blake Gallagher. He's 1 for 2. Full on a breaking pitch. Strike 1. Right now you're starting to see the adjustment to the wind by the Trojans. They're not over swinging. They're just putting the ball in play. Dragons need to take a lesson. 6 hits now for the Trojans. Here's the pitch. Good fastball, strike enter, 0.5 and 2. Most pitches of any inning for Dylan Nedved. This will be pitch number 18 in the inning. The pitch. Foul tipped at the plate. Max couldn't hold on. It remains 0 and 2. So nothing going right here for the Dragons. Nothing going right elsewhere around the West for Hutchinson either. Cloud winning, Butler winning. Dragons losing. 0-2 pitch. That one's hit to center field. That's going to drop in front of Reitz for a hit. And now the bases are loaded with 1 out. That's 5 hits in the inning now. Tilley to second, Kootenai to third. And Tucker Zdunich will be the batter. Still no action in the Dragon pen, but that could change momentarily. Dylan's allowed 2 hits through the first 5. He's allowed 5 here in the 6th. Swing and a miss. So Colby with a 2-0 lead. And this one's scheduled for 7, so the Dragons just have 6 outs to try to come back. Now that big thing is you got to keep it right here. That pitch misses upstairs, and it's 1-1 to Zdunich. Tapper, fielded by Nedved. He'll go to first. The run will score. Thought about maybe spinning, trying to get another out at another base, but took the sure out for out number 2. Kootenai scores to make it 3-0. Gallagher moves to second. Tilley moves to third. So second and third now 2 away with 3 runs in. And it will be the designated hitter, Lachlan Ross. Nedved's pitch. Strike called. This game going much similar, very similar to the game won against Seward County a week ago Thursday here. Very similar weather conditions. Breaking pitch outside for a ball 1-1. That game went 0-0 into the 9th. Then a 44-minute rain delay kind of changed the dynamics of it, and Seward wound up scoring 7 at the top of the 9th. Pitched low one in, 2-1 to Ross. Dragons came back and walked off 4-3 to split the first 2 games here. And then the Dragons went and dominated the Saints twice at Brent Goldfield and Liberal a week ago today. Ground ball left side, deep short Sartori. The throw to first, not nearly in time. A run will score, and it's 4-0. An infield single and an RBI for Ross. Tilley scores. Gallagher goes to third. And now the 9th batter of the inning steps up in right fielder Alex Arenchuk. Arenchuk, a couple of ground outs to Ryan Moritz at second. Strike called. Swing and a miss. There's a Dragon throwing in the pin. Because of the left-hander, can't see who it is. Looks like Zach Philbin. 0-2 the count to Arenchuk. Max McGuire goes through a set of signs for the defense with runners at first and third. The 0-2. Strike him out and the inning is over, but a big inning for the Trojans. 9 come to the plate, 4 score, 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and 2 left. Dragons have 2 at-bats remain to come back in this one. Our new score, Trojans 4 and the Dragons nothing. Dragons need to rally as if the current scores of the Jayhawk West remain the same, the landscape about to become much different and much tighter. Right now the Dragons losing, Colby and Butler both winning, so is Cloud. Here's McGuire. McGuire, Bolin, and Sartori here in the bottom of the 6th against Tyler McWillie. McWillie has retired 14 Blue Dragons in a row. Dragons have not had a base runner since the first. 2-0 now to Max, who's 0 for 1. Grounded out to short his first time up. Two-zero pitch. Swung and popped up out of play. McWillie has allowed just 2 hits, struck out 4. That's been it. Sartori led up the game with a triple. Pitch high and tight, 3-1. Zane Schmidt had a wind-aided bloop single. That's been it. McWillie's done well coming back in counts. He trails to Max 3-1 here. It's a swung on and missed, full count. Dragons continue to swing wildly with the wind blowing in. It's an adjustment that they need to make. You saw Colby make the adjustment, and they came up with 4 in the top of this inning. Here's the payoff. High ball 4. A leadoff walk. And that snaps a run of 14 in a row retired by Tyler McWillie. Now Zion Bolin. He grounded out to short his first time. Bolin, good speed. And he's also a double play threat. The pitch. Strike at the letters. 1-1 to count to Bolin. The pitch. Breaking pitch at the letters for a strike. Now Zion's down to the count 0-2. Here's McWillie's offering. Fastball a little bit low. Close pitch. 1-2. If the Dragons are still trailing after this sixth inning, they're just 4-13 when trailing after 6. Breaking pitch. Bowen fights it off, and it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wind continues to howl in, and the Dragons had 6 home runs with the wind blowing out Thursday at Colby. So complete 180 today. 1-2 pitch. And when it's hit toward right center field, this is going to be trouble. It's down for a hit. It hung up and allowed Orenchek to get it to it. Moving up to second is McGuire, so it's 2 on to start the 6th for Hutchinson. At least chip away here. Get a couple. Now, third time around the order for the Dragons against Tyler McWillie, who just gave up his 3rd hit of the game. Sartori has tripled and struck out. Dragons trying to rally back here. Middle infield, a double play depth. The third baseman, Matt Kootenai, off the line, but even with the bag. Pitch to Sartori. Back to the screen that goes, and that'll move everybody up 90 feet on the wild pitch. McGuire to third, Bowen to second. And that takes the double play off the table. We have a meeting at the mound. Entire infield in with the Colby pitching coach. I'm not sure if that's Josh. I believe that's Josh Aller. Logan Hoffman, the ace of the staff, starting to warm up for the Trojans in the Colby bullpen. We talked about that earlier. We expected it. Hoffman 88-92 with a very good slider. That's the pitch he couldn't control on Thursday. He also threw 80-plus pitches. But he's a warrior, and Ryan Carter will run him out there as much as he can. But before that happens, it's a 1-0 count to Logan Sartori. McGuire at third, Bowen at second. McGuire walked, Bowen singled, and they moved up 90 feet on a wild pitch. So an RBI opportunity for Sartori. Time called as a ball gets loose out of the bullpen, so we'll have a momentary delay. Alex Orenchek will chase it down. Sartori is 6th in the Jayhawk with 51 RBIs. 4th in runs scored with 58. His set 10 home runs are 7th, tied for 7th. Right now the Dragons would settle for a 2-run single. Little roller to short. Could be trouble. This will score the run, and the ball gets underneath the shortstop. That's going to be a do or die. That'll be an infield hit and an RBI, and the Dragons are on the board. That was going to be a tough play for Harm. Sartori can get down the line very well. So McGuire scores. Bowen goes to third, and now Zane Schmidt becomes the tying run. Schmidt up 1 for 2. He singled and struck out. So the Dragons are on the board here in the 6th. The pitch. Over but low, ball 1. Pitch number 80 for McWillie. They play Zane definitely to pull in the infield. Center fielder Reese Cornell shaded toward left. Pitch way outside. 1-1. There is an absolute huge gap in right center field. And Ryan Carter is going to bring in his ace, Logan Hoffman. So very good outing for Tyler McWillie. But the Trojans are going to go to their staff ace, one of the best pitchers in the Jayhawk, and Logan Hoffman. We'll tell you about him after this break. So it's Logan Hoffman in for the Trojans. Ryan Carter doesn't want to take a chance at falling 3 games behind the Blue Dragons with 5 to play. Hoffman, a 5'10", 180-pound sophomore from Munster, Saskatchewan, Canada. He took the Game 1 loss on Thursday, the 8-4 Blue Dragon victory. His numbers were not put into the system, so I can give you numbers up until that. Hoffman's 6-4 now with a 1.78 earned run average. This will be his first relief appearance of the year. 65 and 2/3 innings, pitched 45 hits, 15 runs. He has struck out 91 and walked only 11. Again, his line on Thursday, 2 1/3 innings pitched, 6 runs, 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. So he will, one of the league's best pitchers, will face the league's leading home run hitter in Zane Schmidt, already with the 2-0 count. I'll tell you about the baseball oddity, the stats here in just a moment. If it happens, outside ball 3. If Zane Schmidt walks, that walk because it was a 2-0 count when Hoffman came in will be charged to McWillie. Just one of those baseball oddities. Triple pitch, in there for a strike. 3-1 now to Schmidt. Dragons with 1 in the inning. Infield RBI single by Sartori. Now runners at the corners, nobody out. Dragons trailing 4-1. The pitch. High fly, shallow left center. Cornell coming in, still coming in. Now the shortstop battles and makes the catch. Actually, that's the second baseman, Perez, making the catch in short left field. And if the Dragons, if Sartori would have broke right away, there would have been nobody at second base. Now time was called. So a big out. Here's Riley Metzger. Riley needs to come through in a big way. 0 for 2 here. Bowen at third, Sartori at first. Now 1 out in the inning. Fastball from Hoffman, strikeout or half, 0-1. Riley had a hit off of Hoffman in the first game of the series. The pitch. Swung on a miss. Right now, Hoffman not wasting anything. He's just rearing back and throwing that 92-mile-per-hour heater. This may be just to get them through the inning. Warm action in the pen. Metzger fights that fastball offering off. That'll play to the left, and it stays 0-2. Ryan Olchaway, another Canadian, a right-hander throwing in the pen for Ryan Carter. And this just may be to get the Trojans out of the 6th inning, having Hoffman in. He threw 80-plus pitches 2 days ago. Move over to first, back in safely is Logan Sartori. That RBI by Sartori, his 108th. He's 10th on the career list. He drove in his 52nd of the year. Here, the pitch. Upstairs, 1-2 to Metzger. Good plate discipline by Riley. We've seen Ryan Carter do this a lot, where he'll run his starters back a couple days later in a series. We saw Hoffman do it last year. Runner goes, pitch is fouled to the plate by Metzger. Dragons now with 4 hits. The runner at third, Bolin, is still McWillie's responsibility, so we can't quite close the book on him yet. But he pitched very well for Colby. Another move over to first, Sartori back in. Hoffman got a win and a save against the Blue Dragons 1 year ago. He comes set, now delivers the 1-2. Sartori goes. The pitch hit him. So a break for the Trojans as the pitch got away from the catcher, Tilley. That would have allowed Bolin to score, but on the hit by pitch, it's a dead ball. Now the Dragons have them loaded. 1 out for Nedved. Cameron Tilley may have got chewed up by that ball that initially hit Metzger, and then got him off the hand. Again, he had to leave the game too early Thursday. Not sure why. And he is trying to flex that right thumb out. So momentary delay to make sure Cameron Tilley's okay. He's going to take a couple of throws. So now Bolin at third, Sartori at second, Metzger at first. Metzger is the tying run. And this defensive alignment in the outfield is nutty. Center fielder Reese Cornell way over toward right center. There's a huge gap in center, left center. Tucker Zadunich in left playing shallow and way off the line, and it's ball 1 to Nedved. Dylan 0 for 2. Take a call third his last time up. So if the Dragons are going to get back into it, this is where they got to do it. Bases loaded, 1 away. Hoffman's pitch fouled back to the screen. 1-1. Nedved had a couple of hits off of Hoffman. He went 3 for 4 in that first game. 1 was a double. Hoffman now working out of the windup with the bases loaded. 1-1 pitch. Foul back again. Hoffman up in the count, 1-2 on Dylan Nedved. This year at the bases loaded, Dylan Nedved 3 for 8. 1-2 pitch, high and tight, 2-2. Great crowd on hand for Sophomore Recognition Day. Crowd continues to grow. Like to see a Blue Dragon comeback. 2-2. Full count. Pitch misses upstairs. No place to put him. The bases are loaded of Dragons. Here's the payoff to Nedved. Looped into center field. That's a base hit. Bolin scores. Sartori being waved around third. He will score. It's a 2-run single for Dylan Nedved, and the Dragons are back within 1 at 4-3. Nedved with RBIs 8 and 9 in the series, and he drives in RBIs 53 and 54 for the season. So on a 3-2 pitch, Nedved nails at the plate, lines 1 to center field. Metzger stops at second. As Sartori and Bolin both score. And now it's Zach Baxley, a big opportunity. Pitch in the dirt, kicks away. Metzger thought about it and then put on the brakes. So now it's 4-3. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss by Bax. And the count at 1-1. The Dragons are starting to get that postseason mentality where it's never say die. We've seen it a lot since the Garden City series. Hoffman's 1-1. Chased one out of the zone up, and then now it's 1-2. And that's where the plate discipline has to be adhered to late in a game like this. You don't want to give a free strike to Hoffman, the pitcher of his capability. Metzger away from second. Nedved away from first. First baseman Blake Gallagher up in front of him. Pitches upstairs, didn't miss by much. Hoffman wanted that one, didn't get it. Dragons now with 5 hits in the game. They've given themselves a chance. Can they jump on it for more here? 2-2 to Baxley. Got him chasing. That's twice Baxley chased out of the zone, and that's out number 2. Now it's up to Will Reitz. Reitz scuffling as of late. He's 0 for 2, but he hit the ball hard right to third baseman Matt Kootenai his last time up. First and second, 2 away. Dragons trailing now 4-3. A 3-run 6th inning. Tying run at second base in the former Riley Metzger. The pitch. He went around. Strike 1. Dragon fans didn't like that, but that's a good call. Reitz has had some clutch hits this year. Here's the pitch. Big curveball from Hoffman, a strike. Big 12-6 curve. And now Reitz hits from an 0-2 hole. Two on, 2 out, 3 across. Here's the 0-2 from Hoffman to Reitz. Got him swinging. Reitz tagged out and the inning is over. So the Dragons get back into it though. They come up with 3 runs on 3 hits. 2 left on. We go to the 7th. Our new score, Trojans 4, the Dragons 3. Dylan Edved back out for the 7th. It's 9-1-2 here in the Colby 7th. 4-3 Colby. This pivotal game 3 of this Jayhawk West set. Edved throws a changeup over the inner half and Harms swings and misses. Harms got that big 6th inning started with a double. A hustle double that was somewhat misplayed. In fact, it was misplayed. It was a swing and a miss by Zane Schmidt in right field. The wind just tore Zane up. 0-2 pitch. Low for a ball, 1-2. In fact, Colby had a couple of those wind-type hits that aided in that 4-run 6, but the Dragons came back with 3 in the bottom. Line foul outside of first. Nedved now 4 runs, 8 hits through 6 innings. His pitch count up to 76. Seward County leading Pratt at last check. 4-3. There's a high pop, or actually 5-4. That's out of play to the left into the Dragon pen. There is action in the Hutch pen. Seward's increased to 12-6. Here's a swing and a miss by Harms. That's a strikeout for out number 1. So again, all the early returns today not going Hutchinson's way. If this score does hold on, and Butler's well ahead in their game at Dodge City, The Dragons will have a scant one-game lead entering game fours. High pop. It's the second baseman, Wertz. He lost it in the sun and drops in for a single. We had a ton of that out at Seward County last Saturday. And it happened here again today. So a single for Cornell. I think it happened a couple of times out at Colby on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Remembering Rich Epps' call a few times, he said players lost the ball in the sun. Second baseman Enoch Perez. And Ved's pitch curveball, strike outside corner. Perez got a double. That set up second and third, nobody out. There's a ground ball left side base hit. So Perez now with his fifth hit of the series. And it's first and second, one out for Matt Kootenai. Kootenai drove in the first two runs of the game. 2-run single to center. Now tied for the team lead with 46 RBIs. Pitch from Nedved sails outside, ball one, a fastball. Nobody said winning a conference title was supposed to be easy. And whoever wins the 2019 championship is definitely going to earn it. Big swing and a miss by Kootenai. Good pitch by Nedved up in the zone, and it's 1-1. This race, especially if all these game threes stay as such, very reminiscent of 2005 when there was a four-way tie for the conference championship. Hutchinson was part of that. 1-1 pitch. And when it's hit the left field, Metzger having trouble. It's over his head. He will bobble it again. That's going to allow the run to score. The throw to third not in time. That ball kicks away. And Kootenai with his third RBI of the game gives the Trojans a 5-3 lead. Metzger playing shallow got burned. Kootenai, a left-hander, put a charge into it the opposite way, and that'll bring Ryan Schmidt out, and that might spell the end of the day for Dylan Nedved. We're probably going to get a bunch of changes here, so we're going to take a break, get them all as we get this pitching change in. New score, Colby leads 5-3, top seven. So the changes weren't as numerous as we saw it, but Cade Fenton becomes the new Blue Dragon pitcher. 6'2", 190-pound, 5-pound redshirt freshman from Prairie Grove, Arkansas. He will hit in the 9 slot, vacated by Zion Bolin. And Dylan Nedved, the pitcher, will move from the mound over to third base. So those are the changes. The numbers on Fenton. On for the 11th time, 0-1 record, 4.66 ERA. Fenton's thrown just 9 2/3 innings. 8 hits, 11 runs, only 5 earned. Control has been his issue, 12 walks with 15 strikeouts. Opponents hitting only 200 against. Cade kind of sliding into that late inning role as Zach Furniture has begun to struggle with his command. So we'll see Cade Fenton. And he will face Cameron Tilley with Trojans at second and third. 1 out and 1 already across. So it's been a lot of late inning magic for these two teams. And off it was 0-0 through 5. So here's Tilley. Breaking pitch misses high and in, ball 1. Fenton, a fastball curveball pitcher. Colby now with 11 hits. All of those off Nedved. Another curveball foul back, and it bounces around the roof just underneath. And the count evens at 1-1. This win has made playing defense just that much tougher today. The outfield has struggled for the Blue Dragons. 1-1 pitch, swung on a miss. 3 different times the wind or the sun has allowed Colby base runners on balls that all should have been outs. But that's baseball for you. Fenton steps off. Now out of the stretch, he comes set the pitch. High fly ball, center field. This will be deep enough to score the run. Reitz makes the catch. Tagging and scoring is Perez to make it 6-3. Kootenai stays at second now with 2 outs. And Gallagher will be the batter, the first baseman, Blake Gallagher. 2 for 3, a pair of singles. Colby's got 9 hits in the last 2 innings. Fenn's pitch. Fastball low for ball 1. Fenton last time out a week ago on Tuesday evening against Barton. He threw 1 inning of scoreless relief. Swung on a miss by Gallagher, and it's 1-1. So the Dragons were right in the game at 4-3. Now 6-3 with only 3 at bats to go. The pitch. Fastball upstairs, 2-1. The Blue Dragons will have the lower third of the order. Moritz, McGuire, and then a pinch hitter for Fenton. Fenton's 2-1. Chop to short. Big hop for Sartori. Sets, fields, and throws, and the inning is over. Colby fighting back in the series. They get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left. Last chance time for the Blue Dragons. They need 3 to stay alive, 4 to win it. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Trojans 6 and the Dragons 3. Score update from Williams Stadium in Garden City. Cloud County with a 19-0 lead in the fourth. That one pretty much destined to go 5. Seward leads Pratt 12-6. Butler was way up on Dodge City. Did have an update on that. Here, the Blue Dragons need 3 to stay alive, or the Jayhawk West becomes an incredibly tight race once again. It already is. Ryan Olcheway is the new pitcher. Colway, 6'3", 180-pound freshman from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. He faces Ryan Moritz. Then it's Max McGuire and a pinch hitter. Pitch outside, ball 1. Olkaway 1-0 with a 3.60 ERA. This is 8th appearance, 6th in relief. Moritz swings and misses, and it's 1-1. Tyler McWillie stands to get the win. 1-1 pitch. Off the plate wide, an off-speed offering, and it's 2-1 to Moritz. Mo 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded to second. Dragons need a base runner. Two-one pitch, swung through and missed, and it's 2-2. And again, the Dragons just have not made the adjustment to the wind. They're still taking these big, huge hacks, and they're not getting anything done. Just 5 hits this afternoon. All 3 runs came in the 6th inning. They had a streak of being retired 14 straight times. Moritz stays alive. Again, we said at the opening, whatever happened on Thursday will have no direct bearing on what happens today. That's just the game of baseball. Colby's made the adjustment to this point. The Blue Dragons haven't. 2-2. Moritz takes one up and in, full count. Olkaway, 10 innings, 12 hits, 6 runs, 13 strikeouts, 5 walks. Big right-hander. Pitching out of the windup. Payoff pitch. Moritz fights that one off to stay alive at 3-2. Hasn't been a good day offensively, hasn't been a good day defensively. First 5 innings were spotless by Dylan Nedved on the mound. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. So the Dragons have a solid start to the 9th. The leadoff walk by Moritz, and that'll be Max McGuire. So we assume that Christopher Noble is going to be the pinch hitter for Fenton. He's the one that chased down the equipment of Moritz. And he will be in the on-deck circle. So Noble will pinch hit for Fenton. But you'd like to get another base runner aboard for him. He's the tying run, but McGuire needs to get on to get the tying run to the plate. Here's Max. He drew a leadoff walk to start the 6th and scored. First pitch swing, he lifts one to center field, playable for Cornell. Now blowing over into right center field. The catch is made for out number 1, and that's the last thing you want to do, go first pitch hacking when you're down 3. You got to think of the situation, and that's just not a good at bat. Not in the wind. Sorry to be a little extra hard, but that's just the case. So here's Christopher Noble. He had a pinch hit grand slam a week ago. Noble for the year. Hitting .278, 3 home runs, 13 RBIs. One of those home runs a grand slam. Right now, if you're a Dragon, you'll take a base knock.
Big cut and a miss from Oakaway, strike one. As a pinch hitter, Noble's 2 for 6. Dragons 6 for 27 in pinch hit situations this year. It's a 272 average. Pitch a little bit high for ball. So Cloud winning, Butler winning, Seward winning, Colby winning. The Dragons losing. The 1-1 to Noble. Swung through, missed 1 and 2. The Dragons have 10 fly ball outs today to 5 ground ball outs. And then the wind is just not productive. Here's a 1-2. Struck him out, 2 away. Now Logan Sartori, the last chance for the Dragons, 2 for 3. And an RBI single in the 6th. 2 hits now. He moves into 13th place all by himself on the career hits list with 135, but right now that's neither here nor there. He goes first pitch hacking and fouls it out of play to the right. That's just the mentality of today's baseball, grip it and rip it. Strikeouts up all over baseball at every level because of that mentality. Here's the 0-1. Breaking pitch, ground ball left side through the glove of the shortstop, and the Dragons still have life. That'll be an error on the shortstop, Owen Harms. And the Dragons are breathing with Zane Schmidt coming to the plate. So the ball will leave to right field today. We saw Zane Schmidt hit a home run last week against Seward County in these exact same wind conditions. He's going to have to hit it more on a line. So the Dragons have their man at the plate. Smith the tying run, the pitch. That one's hit toward left center field. That's down for a hit. Rounding third is Moritz. He will score. Heading to third is Sartori. And it's 6-4. How big are those runs in the top of the ninth for Colby now? But an RBI single for Schmidt. And that'll bring up Riley Metzger. So Moritz scores. We'll have a pinch runner at first base for Jeremiah Caesar. Will pinch run for Zane Schmidt. Great wheels at first. He is the tying run. So Riley Metzger becomes the batter now. Sartori at third. Caesar at first. Oakaway comes set and delivers to Riley. Ball one outside. All the runs in this game have come in the last 2 innings. The pitch. Riley goes for the balk called. That's a balk. That's going to bring in a run. So take the strike off the board. Sartori scores, and now the tying run in Caesar moves up to second. So a big call. No argument from the bench. I wasn't looking at the pitcher. Did he not come set? So it was a balk call, not coming set. Everybody here in the dugout jumped on it. I was looking down at my computer. So now the tying run in scoring position with 1 out. A base knock would tie it. The pitch. Riley late on that offering, and it's 1-1. Another interesting scoring point. Had Riley hit a home run on that balk, you have the option to take the home run. And I think the Blue Dragons would have taken the home run. We don't have to worry about that now. That's just speculation. Caesar away from second. The 1-1 from Oakaway to Riley Metzger. In the dirt. Good stop by Tilley. That keeps the fleet-footed Caesar at second base. Unless it's right at an outfielder, you suspect on a base hit to the outfield, Jamel Cervantes will send Jeremiah. Oakaway gets his sign and comes set. The 2-1 to Metzger. Outside 3-1, the ball gets past the catcher, back to the screen, and moving up to third is Jeremiah Caesar. Now the tying run just 90 feet away. Three balls, one strike, two out, bottom of the ninth, tying run at third. Dragons trail 6-5. Oakaway comes set and delivers. High and tight, ball four. Metzger walks. And now it's Nedved. And that'll bring the pitching coach of the Colby Trojans out, Josh Aller. Nedved, one of the hottest Dragon hitters of them all. I see down in front of the dugout, Ryan Schmidt talking things over with Jamel Cervantes. I doubt the Dragons have run the play a lot this year with high success, but I doubt you run a double steal here. Especially with Riley Metzger at first. But you look at the wheels turning down in front of the Blue Dragon dugout right now, and you wonder. So 2 outs in the inning. The Dragons continue to fight back. They trailed 4-0, then 4-3. Butler has defeated Dodge City 10-1 in that game. Dylan Nedved, his last time up, a 2-run single. He has 9 RBIs in the series. So, one of the hottest Dragon hitters at the plate. Zach Baxley on deck. The pitch from Oakaway. That's hit to right field. Going back as a Renchuk toward the line. He dives and it's foul by a matter of inches. And that time the wind helped the Dragons. It pushed that ball away from a Renchuk. He would have had it not been for the wind pushing it toward the right field line. So new life for Hutchinson again. It was clearly foul. Toby Cornejo was trying to buy the call. You're not going to get one that far. 0-1 to Nedved. They shade Nedved toward right center. If Nedved can plug a gap, that pitch in the dirt nearly thrown away. Good stop by Tilley. That kept the game tied, or kept the game at 1 run for Colby. Kept the game from being tied. Ryan Summers warming at the Dragon pen, just in case. Here's a 1-1. Chop to third. Fielded by Kootenai. The throw is wide of the bag. The run scores. And now moving up to third is Metzger. And the Dragons have a chance. Hit and an error. Hit and an error. A hit for Nedved that ties the run game at 6. But the error allows the runs to move up to second and third. We are tied at 6. The Dragons get off the deck once again. An infield single by Dylan Nedved, his 10th RBI of the series. And now Bax will be the batter with a chance to walk it off and change the look of the Jayhawk West once again. Two big errors in the inning have helped the Dragons along. The pitch. Fly ball out of play to the right. Bax has just got to stay down on a pitch. 2 outs in the inning. The Dragons have gotten off the deck, 3 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th to tie it. Metzger at third. Nedved at second. The 0-1. Popped up. Second baseman Enoch Perez fighting it, makes the catch, and we go to extra innings. Wow. The Dragons get back into it, though. They take advantage of a couple of Colby errors. 3 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left. Extra innings at Hobart-Detter Field. We head to the 8th. Dragons 6, Trojans 6. Defensively for the Blue Dragons, Jeremiah Caesar, who pinch ran, stays in the game and moves into center field. He'll bat in the 2-hole. Will Reitz moves from center to right. And the new Blue Dragon pitcher is Ryan Summers. He had a big inning getting out of a bases-loaded no-out jam in the 6th inning of Game 1 on Thursday. Summers, 6'5", 185-pound sophomore from Coweta, Oklahoma. The numbers on Ryan Summers. On for the 17th time, 14th out of the pen, 6-2 with 1 save and a 4.05 earned run average. 20 of the 3rd innings pitched, 14 hits, 10 runs, 23 strikeouts, 20 walks. He went just 1 inning against Colby on Thursday. He walked the bases loaded, then got a pair of pop-ups and a fly out to right to get out of the jam. The Blue Dragons won 8-4. Zadunich, Ross, and Orenchuk here in the 8th, and the first pitch offering to Tucker Zadunich is fouled out of play, 0-1. Zadunich 0 for 3 with an RBI ground out. There's a strike and quickly 0-2. Righty kicks. Did he go around? They're going to check down. No, he did not. 1-2. Summers' 1-2 offering is lifted. A high pop. Can anybody find it? Caught in that foul territory by Dylan Nedved, who took a really weird course to the ball and made a basket catch. I'm not sure he ever had it in his sights, but the out is recorded. So Dunich retired, one away here in the 8th. This is the 4th extra inning game for Hutchinson. They're 2-1. Lackland Ross the batter, a strike call, the fastball at the belt. Ross an RBI single in the 6th. He's 1 for 3. Strike 2 called. And this is the Summers we've seen earlier in the year. He just came in and just pounded the zone. Ross taking his time now, gets back in. Summers likes to work quick the pitch, and it's fouled out of play to the right. This game was scoreless through 5. Colby scored 4 runs in the top of the 6th. The 0-2 pitch. Just a little bit high, 1-2. The Dragons came back. A 2-run single by Dylan Nedved made it 4-3 after 6. 1-2 pitch. Breaking pitch, high and tight, 2-2. Colby came back with 2 in the 7th. And the Dragons scratched across 3 in the bottom, getting the tying run on an infield single by Nedved. That pitch high and tight, now a full count. 3-2 pitch. High fly, foul territory. Nedved drifting back, may have a play. Reaches over and can't quite get it. Just ran out of room to Nedved, who reached over the fencing as far as he could. Great crowd on hand. Now, because this game is extra innings, the 3 o'clock game will be 7 as per conference rules. 3-2 pitch. Lost him. 1 out walk. Control has been an issue for Summers as of late. I mentioned that's his 17th walk. Now here's Alex Arenchuk, the 8-hole hitter. Summers pitch, fouled, and that caught Max McGuire, and he's in a little bit of discomfort. Arenchuk 0 for 3, a pair of ground outs to second. He struck out swinging. So both catchers have been chewed up by foul balls today. Actually, Max's was a foul ball. Cameron Tilley's was a hit by pitch off Metzger. And he chewed his hand up. Dragons could use a double play ball right here. The 0-1. Fastball high and away, 1-1. Swing and a miss by Arenchuk, and it's 1-2. A cloud in the sky right now, with the wind howling in from left center. 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3, inside corner, 2 away. Now Owen Harms is the shortstop. Dylan Nedved worked 6 in the 3rd. 11 hits, 6 runs, 6 strikeouts, no walk. Cade Fenton, 2/3 of an inning. The big cut and a miss, nothing to run to Harms. Now Summers. Start the 4-run 6th. He's also grounded out and struck out 1 for 3. The pitch. Swing and a miss, nothing in 2. Blue Dragons have been out hit 11-7. No 2 pitch. Got him swinging, and that's the inning. Summers works around the 1 out walk, and now the Dragons can go try to win it. It's Reitz, Moritz, and McGuire, 6, 7, 8 in the bottom of the 8th. Dragons 6, Colby 6. Now we will look at a lefty from down under. Not talking about his pitching motion, but an Australian native in Dwayne Johansson for the Colby Trojans. Johansson, 6'1", 165-pound freshman from Brisbane, Australia. His numbers, on for the 14th time, 12th in relief, 5-0 record with a 5.16 ERA, 29 and 2/3 innings pitched, 26 hits, 20 runs. He has struck out 21 but walked 19. It's Will Reitz, Ryan Moritz, Max McGuire, 6, 7, and 8 here in the bottom of the 8th of a tied 6-6 game. The first pitch bounces into Reitz. Will so far 0 for 3. He flew out, lined out, and struck out. The face of the Jayhawk West really in the balance. Strike outside corner. Pitch has been there all day. All the teams below Hutchinson have won. Colby and Hutch now tied. Dragons with a 2-game lead. Reitz pulls on that outside offering and misses, and now it's 2-2. Check that, 1-2. Dragons with a 2-game lead coming into this one. A win would maintain that 2-game lead. Called strike 3, no doubt about it. And Will is struggling at the plate right now. He's led off for most of the last month, moved down to number 2 on Thursday in game 2, and slipped down to number 6 in the order. Now, Ryan Moritz. Moritz 0 for 2. He led off the 7th with a walk and scored. And gave the Dragons a chance. Moritz hit with a pitch. Right in on the back, and the Dragons have the go-ahead winning run aboard with 1 out. Max McGuire will be the batter. Last time up, Max had a chance to do damage. And he went first pitch hacking and popped up. In the on-deck circles, Ryan Summers. Ryan actually swung the bat last week in a similar situation against Seward County and struck out. Moritz away from first. Johansson's pitch. In the dirt. Gets stopped by Tilly, ball 1. If the Dragons win, they'll maintain a 2-game lead over Butler and increase their lead over Colby to 3. If Colby wins, the Dragons' lead shrinks to 1 over both the Trojans and the Grizzlies. That's what's on the line. Move over to first. Moritz not a real threat to go in this situation. Also, you got to remember, you don't think about this, but he's running right into a headwind going into second. With the lefty on the mound. Here's the pitch. High fly ball to right toward the line. Orenchek giving a chase now into foul territory. Slows down and can't make the play. If he touches that ball, that's an error, but I don't believe he touched it. Maybe. That'll be an error. We have confirmation of the touch. So that's now 3 errors a pitch. McGuire hits one to right, playable for Orenchek this time. Drifting toward the line, he's got it for out number 2. So Ryan Summers is going to hit. 0 for 1. He struck out last week at Seward County. Lefty-righty matchup, the pitch. One bounces in, another good stop by Tilly. Yes. Safely it over at first by Moritz. He was hit with a pitch. There's a strike. Right now in this situation, you figure advantage Colby with Summers batting. He's the only pitcher that, besides people who play both ways, to hit this season for the Dragons. It's a little roller right back to the pitcher. Throw it to first. That almost looked like it went off his foot. That's what the Dragons are arguing. That looked like it went straight down and then out. And the Dragons aren't going to pursue it any further. We go to the ninth. Dragons 6, Trojans 6. Two finals in. Seward County rallies to defeat Pratt 17-6. Butler took the third game of the series against Dodge and leads that series 3-0, 10-1. Cloud was up 19-0 on Garden in the fourth. That's the last report. So Ryan Summers back to work, and it's Cornell who dribbles an opposite field single through the left side to start the ninth. So the Trojans have the leadoff man aboard. Here's Enoch Perez. Likely bunt situation, at least we think. It's now 12 hits for the Trojans. They've out-hit the Dragons 12-7. The pitch, showing bunt, and it's bunted foul by Perez. Perez 2 for 4. He doubled and scored in the 6th, singled and scored in the 7th. Showing bunt early again. Pulls back and takes low for a ball, 1-1. Showing bunt. It's bunted along first, and it's touched up foul. Summers is up in the count of ball and 2 strikes. Summers pitched the 8th. He's the third Blue Dragon pitcher. Allowed a 1-out walk, but then struck out Arenchuk and Harms. Pitch, bunted foul, and that's a strikeout. Bunted foul on strike 2, that's an out. Summers gets his third strikeout. Perez tried to climb back in. Finally, the umpire realized it was a bunt on 2 strikes. Now a runner at first, 1 away for Matt Kootenai. Kootenai 3 RBIs in this one. 2-run single in the 6th, an RBI double in the 7th. Kootenai has now taken over the team lead with 47 RBIs. Hard shot right back to Baxley. He goes to second for 1 to throw back to first. That's a double play. Actually, they're going to call interference. Either way, it's a double play and the inning is over. So a 3-6-3 double play. Cornell arguing with the call for some. Now Ryan Carter's going to come out. So Baxley starts a 3-6-3 double play as Kootenai smashes one right at him. Either way, it's a double play and the inning is over. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Dragons 6, Colby 6. Bottom of the ninth. The Dragons will have the top of the order. Sartori, Caesar, and Metzger. The one thing about pitch running for Zane Schmidt is the league's leading home run hitter not in the lineup now. Tied 6-6. It's been a dandy. Logan Sartori, 2 hits and 4 trips. He reached on an error that really aided the 7th inning and scored as the Dragons tied it up. Pitch outside from Dwayne Johansson to start the bottom of the ninth. Hutchinson 2-1 in extra inning games. Off speed, catches the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. That's been there all day. One. Popped up. Will the wind blow it out of play? Tilley and Gallagher give chase, and it's well back out of play thanks to the wind. Now Sartori down in the count, 0-2. The Dragons playing their 4th extra inning game since April 14th. Will Reitz hit a 3-run walk-off on April 14th against Pratt to win that one 6-3. 1-2 to Sartori. Way outside, 2-2. The Dragons then lost to Seward County. That 7-0 game where the Saints scored 7 in the ninth after the rain delay. It was a week ago Thursday. 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Painted the outside corner, 1 away here in the Dragon ninth. Now Jeremiah Caesar. Then 2 days later, 1 week ago today, the Blue Dragons defeated the Saints 17-11 in 10 innings at Brent Goldfield, using their own 7-run extra inning, turn that victory. So Caesar batting for the first time. He's 0 for 1 in the series. He struck out, hitting .278, 22 hits, 8 RBIs. He lines this one down the right field line. That's trouble. That's into the corner for a fair ball. That's at least 2 for Caesar. Ball being bobbled around, and Caesar is going to pull in with a 1-out double. His 3rd of the season, and he represents the tying run with 1 out. And Riley Metzger, the batter. A double into the right field corner for Caesar. And now Metzger. Metzger drew a clutch walk. He's also been hit by a pitch and is being intentionally walked here. That puts the double play back in order. And now Dylan Nedved. Dylan Nedved, 3 RBIs in the game. He hit a 2-run single and Hutch's 3-run 6 to pull back within 4-3. He had an infield single to bring in the tying run in Caesar in the bottom of the 7th to tie it at 6. Now a chance to walk off and win it. Pitch low and outside, ball 1. Nedved 2 for 4. 10 RBIs in the series. Right now, every pitch, the Jayhawk West is balancing on every pitch. The pitch. That one misses outside, 2-0 to Nedved. Zach Baxley's on deck. You know he would love to get another crack. He's had a tough day offensively. Again, the outfield shifted around toward right for Nedved, the pitch. Taking all the way, it's a strike from Johansson, 2-1 to the Dragon third baseman. Nedved was the starter. Pitched brilliantly through 5. The pitch. Ground ball right through the glove of the shortstop. Rounding third is Caesar, and the Dragons are going to win it. The 4th error of the game, the 2nd on Owen Harms, and the Dragons win it. 7, 6, and 9 innings. And the Dragons maintain a 2-game lead in the Jayhawk West over Butler, and now take a 3-game lead over the Trojans. That was a routine ground ball double play. They went right through the glove of the shortstop, Owen Harms. Once it got through, there was no stopping Caesar, and the Dragons get the win. We're going to have sophomore activities, and we'll wrap it up right after. So, again, stay with us. We will have sophomore day activities coming up. Dragons win it 7-6 in 9 innings. This is Blue Dragon baseball. We'll get you the totals of this exciting extra inning game. The Blue Dragons win it 7-6 in 9 innings. When we are getting ready for sophomore day activities, Denny Steckline will have that momentarily. We've gotten our equipment over to the right spot here. Again, the Dragons win it. A walk-off error. Ground ball by Dylan Nedved right to the shortstop. Owen Harmson went right through his legs. That allowed Jeremiah Caesar to score from second. The Dragons trailed 4-0, 4-3, 6-3, then tied it at 6 in the bottom of the 7th. Then the Dragons got the victory on the air. 4 errors in the game for Colby. And the Blue Dragons, doesn't matter though, get the win and maintain their 2-game lead in the Jayhawk West over Butler. Butler now alone in second place in the Jayhawk West. Colby drops to third. Now 3 games behind with 1 game remaining in the series for everybody. So again, we're getting ready for sophomore day activities. Denny Steckline will have those. They're down getting prepared. This sophomore class is putting up quite a lot of numbers, and I'll try to get those wrapped up a little bit as Denny is calling the sophomore day activities. So the Dragons have 1 more here. And 4 against Cloud County next week, and we have already made the decision we are going to broadcast all 4 of those games with a conference championship on the line. We'll be here next Thursday against Cloud County, and then on Saturday we'll go to Butler, or excuse me, go to Concordia for the final 2 games. Brandon just finding this out for the first time, but he gets the day off on Saturday, so. So whenever Denny's ready, we're going to switch over to Mike's and just waiting for the high sign. Dragons win it 7-6. You talk about the changing face of the Jayhawk West. This could have been, if the Dragons did not come back and win, just a 1-game lead with 5 games to play, and the Dragons would have had the toughest road of them all. We're set for sophomore day activities. Over to Denny Steckline.
Hit the space bar. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we would like to recognize our 2019 sophomore class. This group of young men will hold a very special place in the hearts of the coaching staff, their teammates, and the community. Their play this season has led them to an overall record of 35-16 and a conference mark of 19-8. In addition to their achievements on the diamond, this group has maintained a team grade point average over 3.0, All of these young men will graduate from Hutchinson with their associate's degree by the end of the summer. Their hard work, perseverance, and dedication to Hutchinson Community College have helped to solidify the foundation of success for players that will follow. Let's meet your 2019 sophomore class. Number 1, Logan Sartori, the son of Peter and Michelle Sartori. Logan is an infielder from Lincoln, Nebraska, studying pre-dentistry. Number 2, Matt Hopkins, the son of Russell and Terry Hopkins. Matt is a pitcher from Kingfisher, Oklahoma, studying business administration. Number 2, Matt Hopkins. Number 3, Ethan White, the son of Eric and Angie White. Ethan is an infielder from Buhler, Kansas, studying sports management. Number 3, Ethan White. Number 6, Zion Bolin, the son of Craig Bolin, and joined by his grandmother, Catherine Bourne. Zion is a utility player from Lawrence, Kansas, studying business administration. Number 6, Zion Bolin. Number 9, Dylan Nedved, the son of Sean Cusey and Don Nedved. Dylan is a pitcher and infielder from Shawnee, Kansas, studying kinesiology. Number 9, Dylan Nedved. Number 10, Ryan Moritz, the son of Jerry and Julie Moritz. Ryan is an infielder from Omaha, Nebraska, studying accounting. Number 10, Ryan Moritz. Number 12, Connor Craig, the son of Jamie and Jackie Craig. Connor is an outfielder from Hutchinson, Kansas, studying business administration. Number 12, Connor Craig. Number 14, Mike Brown, the son of Dave and Kaylee Brown. Mike is a pitcher from Omaha, Nebraska, studying business administration. Number 14, Mike Brown. Number 15, Max McGuire, the son of Shelly Martin. Max is a catcher from Lincoln, Nebraska, studying sports management. Number 15, Max McGuire. Number 19, Riley Metzger. The son of Charlie and Jill Metzger, Riley is an outfielder from Stillwater, Oklahoma, studying exercise science. Number 19, Riley Metzger. Number 20, Cameron Crandall. Cameron is a pitcher from Nickerson, Kansas, studying criminal justice. Number 20, Cameron Crandall. Number 22, Brandon Rushing. The son of Amy Greer, Brandon is a pitcher from Lake Charles, Louisiana, studying business administration. Number 22, Brandon Rushing. Number 26, Zachary Baxley. The son of Tonto and Amy Baxley, Zachary is an infielder from Wichita, Kansas, studying kinesiology. Number 26, Zachary Baxley. Number 28, Miguel Reyes, Jr. The son of Mercedes Reyes, and joined by his brother Luis Reyes. Miguel is a pitcher from Lafayette, Louisiana, studying business administration. Number 28, Miguel Reyes, Jr. Number 36, Zach Philbin. The son of Will and Betsy Philbin. Zach is a pitcher from Omaha, Nebraska, studying business administration. Number 36, Zach Philbin. Number 37, Eric Williams. The son of Eric and Andrea Williams. Eric is a catcher from Haven, Kansas, studying sports medicine. Number 37, Eric Williams. Number 39, Ryan Summers. The son of Rick and Susan Summers, and joined by his aunt Sandra Reynolds. Ryan is a pitcher from Coweta, Oklahoma, studying criminal justice. Number 39, Ryan Summers. Number 42, Ryan Hutchinson. The son of Chris and Deanne Huxman. Ryan is a student assistant coach from Elyria, Kansas, studying forensic investigation. Number 42, Ryan Huxman. Please join us in recognizing these extraordinary young men. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 sophomore class.
So there you have it, the 2019 sophomores being recognized. They still have at least two big ones left here at Hobart-Detter Field, and they also likely will have a home playoff series come in a couple of weeks as the Blue Dragons all but clinched a first-round Region 6 series. The Blue Dragons defeat Colby 7-6 in 9 innings. Let's get you the totals for the just completed game. Back to that screen. For the Blue Dragons, 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 6 left on base. For Colby, 6 runs, 12 hits, 4 errors, 6 left on. The winning pitcher, Ryan Summers, he's improves to 7-2. Dwayne Johansson takes the loss. His first loss of the year. He falls to 5-1. Time of ball game, 2 hours and 29 minutes. This ball game was 0-0 through 5. And then Colby scored 4 big ones in the top of the 6th. Matt Kootenai, a 2-run single. That got things started. The Dragons came back in the bottom of the 6th. Dylan Nedved's 2-run single drove in or cut the Colby lead to 4-3. Colby comes back with 2 in the top of the 7th. And then the Blue Dragons rally back. An infield single by Nedved scores Jeremiah Caesar with the tying run. And that tied it at 6. Summers enters the game, pitches a scoreless 8th, and then in the 9th, Logan Sartori strikes out looking, but Jeremiah Caesar doubles into the right field corner. He moves up on a single he was at second base as Riley Metzger was intentionally walked, and then Dylan Nedved hits a tailor-made double play right at shortstop Owen Harms that goes right through his legs. That allowed Caesar to score the winning run from second, and the Dragons maintain their 2-game lead in the Jayhawk West over Butler and now lead Colby by 3 games. That's going to wrap up game number 1. We'll wrap game number 2 in about 25 minutes. You'll have to change links on the Blue Dragon Sports Network broadcast page at BlueDragonSports.com. Again, Dragons won it in 9 innings, 7-6. They've taken the first 3 games of this series with Colby. We'll be back with you in about 25 minutes. Until then, Steve Carpenter. So long, everybody.